Hi there, I'm Kyle Barber. I'm from Bellevue College. I'm the head of their DECA team. I'm also the state advisor for Washington Collegiate DECA. And we want to welcome you guys to our state/regional competition that we hold each year. This tournament's going to not only give students a chance to say they're a state champion, but it will also qualify them to advance to the national competition, the International Career Development Conference by Collegiate DECA. We couldn't do this without your help, so we're really grateful you're here. Some of you may have done this before, so this could be simple review for you, but we want to make sure those of you who have never done it before, you've got some idea what to expect. So that's what this video is all about. There are 25 different events that you can do in DECA. 6 of them are prepared and 19 of them are unprepared. If you happen to be doing one of the prepared events, such as starting a business or advertising or business research, each one of those has got a specific set of rules. It's a little bit different, and we will give you specific guidance on how to do those 6 events. But in this video, we're going to mostly focus on the unprepared events, and all 19 of those are very similar. They are either with one person or a partner of 2 people, and each of those presentations are going to last 15 minutes. The students will actually only plan to speak for about 10 minutes, and then they're going to leave about 5 minutes for Q&A after they're done speaking. So it's up to them to manage their time and keep track of that, and then they're going to stop themselves and ask, now would be a great time to answer any questions you might have for us. So you don't need to give them time signals or help them out with that, but you do need to be aware that they can't go over their 15 minutes. We are asking to make sure that you kind of refrain from asking them questions during the presentation itself, because we do train them like we should be simulating a business meeting, but they're not really interactive the first 10 minutes. They are giving you the best presentation they can come up with the prep time they had. If they're doing a team event, they have an hour to prep. If they're doing a solo event, they had a mere 30 minutes. So filling that 10 minutes is going to be hard enough. And we just ask that you do not interrupt them, but wait for them to ask you for the Q&A at the end. When we do the questions, I know you're going to be very tempted to ask them specific questions, but we ask that you use the 2 or 3 pre-scripted questions we created for your event. The reason that we do that is because based upon whatever information they might share with you, it's going to be, it might be easier or harder to ask questions. So if we script them out ahead of time, we know that every student's going to be asked the same thing, trying to keep the competition a little bit more fair. And we want to do that. We want the students to feel like everyone got a fair shot. That can be a little weird because maybe the question is something those students already talked about in their presentation. So it would be a little strange to say, tell me about this after you just heard them tell you about that. But that's okay. The students have been trained to work around that. They're used to the idea that maybe they have to repeat information for somebody in the audience. So it simulates what they would go through in a real business meeting where somebody maybe wasn't paying attention or missed something. You're going to be filling out some forms that were created by the national organization. These are worksheets that are part of the packet. So when you first open up what you get from DECA, you're going to see a list of the performance indicators, and we're going to talk about those in a minute. Then the students are going to get what their situation is on page 2. Some packets then may have like a separate reframing of that situation for the judges, as well as some guidance on how to score things. But that's what we're going to talk about. The main thing I want you to focus, though, is on this last page. So on this last page here, we need to know who is the student's name. So either the first or last name, whatever information you have, you could put up here. And then we don't necessarily need the ID number. We just need to know who the student was. And what we're going to do then is ask you to look at this rubric and give an appropriate score for the student or the pair of students that you were listening to. You're going to have one copy of this sheet sent to you. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to duplicate that Word document, make copies of it, for as many competitors as you have in your round. So say like you have 5 competitors for the event that you were judging. Well, you'll take your original one and you're going to make 4 other copies. So you'll have 1 for each student or each team of 2 students. And then we're just asking that you go in and edit the Word document so you could put a judge score for each of these. you'll notice on the top it's got the performance indicators. These are the 5 things the students have been told you need to speak to these specific topics, even though they also have to answer the question of like how to best solve the case study that was shared with them. Then at the bottom, they have some other areas that we ask them to work on, which is based more like on just their formatting and the presentation style, the way they shared the information. And all the scores here, you choose, like on the first one, 0 to 15. On this one here, it's between 0 and 5. Calculate what the score is for each of those areas, and you'll put that score in. And then when you're done with that, you're able to calculate the total score for those judges. Now, it's really important that as you're kind of working through this, you understand that we're trying our best not to have ties for the scores. A lot of times our volunteer judges want to say, oh, let's give everybody 100 and everything. That's problematic because we need to be able to rank the students first place, second place. So we're asking that if you can try to not have a tie of the total score for everything. It's fine if they tie in each of these certain areas, but we want you to go back and adjust one of them upward or downward. So each team has got something a little bit different. We're also going to, in addition to sending you that Word document that comes from DECA, we're also going to be sending out another form for you where it's going to be asking you to put in some qualitative feedback for each of the students. And if it's a team event, then of course for the 2 of them together. And you'll get 1 copy of that as well. So you're going to need to make a duplicate of that for however many students you got. So again, you got 5 students, you got 1 of those coming to you, create an additional 4 by just copying and pasting it. And we just want to make sure that you guys are writing at least 100 words of content or something, because there's nothing more heartbreaking for a student to find out they got 5th place out of 5 students, and then the judge just writes, good job, and there's absolutely no way for them to improve, there's no way for them to grow, but you were the worst. It's heartbreaking to the students. So please, we ask you to seriously think of things that they can do to improve. We'd love it if you could give them a compliment or 2 and find something that they did well, but they desperately want feedback. They are here to learn, and they want to be prepared for when they go out and looking for real jobs. So please help our students and give them some thoughtful, meaningful feedback. If you have any more questions about how we do this judging, we're more than happy to answer those questions for you, either in advance or on the day of the tournament. Just let us know how we can help you. Don't be shy. Let us know anything that pops up. We want to do everything we can to set you guys up for success and make sure that our students are getting great judges who can help them grow and learn and become the great professionals that we know is within them. Thank you again for volunteering your time, and we really appreciate it, and we look forward to working with you this coming Friday and Saturday.